The figure 5.7 million tons of duck meat per year is enough to astonish anyone who hears it. But behind that massive number lies an entire production system stretching from vast duck farms to ultra-modern processing plants. This is the story of Mr. Zhang, the owner of one of China's most established poultry enterprises. His model not only provides a stable duck supply for both domestic and international markets, but also creates jobs for thousands of local workers. With a vision to modernize the duck farming industry, Mr. Zhang has built a fully integrated production chain, from breeding to processing and distribution, turning his personal dream into one of the most crucial links in China's food industry. So, are you ready to step into Mr. Zhang's duck empire? Let's explore it in today's video. Spanning thousands of hectares, Mr. Zhang's duck processing and distribution complex looks like a mechanical wonderland. Inside, closed-loop production lines, robots, and conveyor systems work tirelessly around the clock. The entire facility gleams in spotless white, from ceiling to floor, meticulously sanitized to prevent any bacterial contamination that could affect meat quality. Each employee undergoes rigorous training before working on site. Dressed in full protective gear, they must pass through an automatic disinfection chamber before entering their shift. The plant operates through multiple tightly controlled stages, from receiving and inspection to preliminary processing and packaging. In the most advanced facilities, AI-powered optical sensors and digital weighing systems can precisely measure each duck's weight and automatically categorize them into various groups. From early morning, hundreds of truckloads of ducks are transported into the plant. Each batch is scanned and undergoes a health check before entering the production line. They are then sent to the pre-processing area, where automated machines remove feathers, clean the surface, and eliminate impurities. High-pressure water jets with hundreds of nozzles thoroughly wash both the interior and exterior, flushing away dirt and bacteria. After washing, the ducks move to the sorting area, where optical sensors and electronic scales again measure and classify them accurately. Human involvement at this point is minimal. Operators only supervise the process remotely through monitoring screens in an adjacent control room. Ducks meeting weight and health standards are transferred to the meat trimming section, where skilled workers use stainless steel blades to cut each breast, leg, and wing with precision, ensuring the meat fibers remain intact. Bones and byproducts are sent to separate lines to be processed into secondary products such as oil, animal feed, and rendered fats. Finally, every piece of duck meat passes through vacuum sealing chambers, packed in internationally certified packaging under strict hygiene. The entire process takes place in sterile cold rooms with constant temperature control to preserve freshness. The meat is then deep frozen and moved into cold storage, ready for distribution to supermarkets and restaurants across the nation. For Mr. Zhang, every product leaving his factory carries not only quality but also the reputation of his brand, a value reflected in every detail of his workflow, designed for maximum efficiency and excellence. Thanks to these processes, products from Mr. Zhang's facilities not only meet domestic demand but are also exported to multiple countries across Asia and Europe, where food safety standards are among the strictest in the world. To maintain such a massive supply, Mr. Zhang's duck farms, housing thousands of birds, are an essential link in his production chain. Here, we can witness a vibrant ecosystem that Mr. Zhang has carefully built for his ducks, vast artificial ponds equipped with aeration systems and filtration devices to keep the water clean and rich in oxygen. He also established segregated barns for ducks in different growth stages, ensuring easier management and health monitoring. Feeding is conducted through a fully automated, closed-loop process. Each batch of feed is meticulously selected to provide balanced nutrition before being distributed across the designated areas. Farm workers spread the feed along the ponds in precise quantities, avoiding waste and minimizing environmental impact. Veterinary specialists remotely monitor the flock's health through a connected software system, which constantly updates data on each duck's weight, activity, and possible illnesses. It's clear that to produce high-quality outputs, Mr. Zhang pays close attention even to the most fundamental stages. The key lies in raising ducks in a healthy, nutrient-rich, and natural environment, a principle that forms the foundation of his entire operation. From farms like Mr. Zhang's, millions of tons of duck meat have entered the daily lives of countless people, becoming a cornerstone of Chinese cuisine. We often hear about the legendary Peking duck, with its crispy golden skin, rich aroma, and signature sweet sauce that melts in your mouth. Meanwhile, in the narrow streets of Shanghai, food lovers talk passionately about spicy roasted duck, a dish that sets every taste bud ablaze. In Guangdong, duck dishes are a humble staple of home-cooked meals, whether it's a slow-braised stew or a light, refreshing soup. Each dish presents a different form and flavor, yet all share one common thread: they originate from an enormous, high-quality, and closed-loop production system that stands behind them. Through Mr. Zhang's journey, we realize that these staggering figures are more than just statistics. They represent the magnitude of China's food industry, where technology, agriculture, and culture intertwine. More importantly, they show that duck meat is not merely food, it's a symbol of Chinese culinary identity, spreading its influence across the globe and leaving a lasting mark on international agriculture and gastronomy. How can you start farming with low costs while ensuring stable, sustainable income over time? Amid rising feed prices and fluctuating markets, more and more farmers are innovating their approaches. The key is combining small-scale models to achieve significant results. In today's video, we'll explore how the integrated goat and chicken farming model is helping a new generation of farmers not only optimize costs but also enhance farming efficiency and maintain steady income during turbulent times. The integrated goat and chicken farming model is a highly effective two-tier farming solution that optimizes space, reduces costs, and significantly boosts profits. Goats are raised in elevated pens, while chickens are free-ranged on the ground, maximizing vertical space utilization. This approach is not only space-efficient but also offers flexibility and smart resource use, making it particularly suitable for farmers seeking efficiency and sustainability in today's challenging context. The integrated goat and chicken farming method offers numerous practical benefits, from optimizing space and reducing odors to minimizing market risks when one of the two income sources fluctuates. All of these contribute to building a sustainable, stable, and easily manageable farming system. Moreover, managing both species in the same area significantly saves time and effort. Farmers can schedule feeding, health checks, and cleaning, all streamlined into a single morning routine. The process is seamless, simple to execute, and yields double the efficiency. From just one model, farmers can harvest multiple products: chicken eggs, poultry meat, breeding goats, goat meat, and fresh goat milk, a highly diverse profit combo. When egg prices drop, farmers can shift to selling milk or capitalize on peak demand for goat meat. This cash flow flexibility is a standout advantage of this model. To ensure the integrated goat and chicken farming model truly delivers results, farmers need to master several key techniques. Ventilated and easy-to-clean coop design. Goat pens should be elevated with slatted floors to allow manure to fall through. Below, chickens roam freely on a layer of rice husks or sawdust, which absorbs moisture and naturally reduces odors. Separate diets for each species. Goats require ample green roughage and supplementary feed. While chickens need a diet rich in protein and carbohydrates. It's critical to prevent the two species from eating each other's food to avoid competition and digestive issues. Disease prevention and environmental hygiene. Although the chicken area is beneath the goat pens, it must be thoroughly cleaned and disinfected weekly to prevent diseases and maintain a clean, safe living environment for both species. Complete vaccination schedule. Chickens need vaccines for diseases like Marex, Gumboro, and Newcastle. Goats require vaccinations against foot and mouth disease, pasteurellosis, and more. Detailed record keeping helps track animal health and ensures no critical vaccinations are missed. The integrated goat and chicken farming model is not just about optimizing costs and space, it's a refined blend of traditional experience and modern farming innovation, a practical and pride-worthy approach to agriculture. With a modest initial investment, and by organizing and innovating wisely, the new generation of farmers can start small, generate quick profits, and scale up as needed. This model also lays the foundation for circular agriculture systems, such as raising earthworms, producing organic fertilizer, or growing clean vegetables right in the backyard, a small but highly potential ecosystem. Amid the vast green fields on the outskirts of Russia lies a massive Sika deer farm that has been in operation for more than a decade. From this farm, thousands of deer are born, raised, and matured within a modern, industrialized farming system. Ivan, a man who has dedicated his entire life to deer farming and producing high-quality deer-based products, cannot hide his joy when sharing the story of his journey. Today, let's explore how Ivan has turned these majestic Sika deer into the foundation of a sustainable farming model, one that not only delivers economic value but also preserves the unique character of the Russian landscape. Visiting Ivan's farm during the deer mating season, we accidentally stumbled upon a breathtaking yet intense scene: deer with towering antlers locking in fierce combat, battling for territory and mates. The clashing of antlers and the pounding of hooves echoed across the farm, a natural result of the vast, open environment Ivan has carefully maintained for them. But behind this majestic spectacle lies hidden danger. With antlers as strong as weapons, just one sudden strike could seriously injure a handler. That's why, during every mating season, the farm workers reinforce barriers and only approach when absolutely necessary, ensuring the safety of both humans and animals. Stretching across hundreds of hectares of pasture, Ivan's Sika deer farm is surrounded by sturdy fencing while still offering the animals plenty of space to roam, graze, and drink freely. Semi-industrial barns stand nearby, equipped with automatic feeding systems that provide grains and minerals to support healthy growth. Ivan doesn't stop at recreating a natural environment for the deer, he also places strong emphasis on their health. The farm regularly conducts health checkups, vaccinations, and growth monitoring, all tracked through electronic chips attached to each deer. The atmosphere here is alive with gentle sounds, deer calls, rustling leaves, and the hum of machines working under careful supervision. When asked about the farm's most unique activity, Ivan proudly points to velvet antler harvesting. In February and March, the prime season deer with antlers of the right length and size are carefully selected for harvest. The deer are given short anesthesia to minimize pain, and then trained staff use medical tools to gently remove the velvet within minutes. Immediately afterward, the wound is disinfected and bandaged to ensure fast recovery. The antlers are sent straight to processing, cleaned, dried, and transformed into powder or capsules. Velvet antlers are considered a precious medicinal product, believed to offer significant health benefits. Depending on type and quality, 1 kilogram can sell for anywhere from several hundred to thousands of dollars. Today, Ivan's velvet antlers are exported across Asia and Europe, becoming one of the farm's key revenue sources. Alongside velvet harvesting, venison remains a cornerstone of Ivan's production system. Once deer reach the age of 6 or 7, they are transported by truck to the farm's closed-loop processing facility. Their automated machines handle everything: stunning, dehairing with high-speed rotating systems, cutting, cleaning, and separating meat. Finally, the venison is vacuum-packed and stored in cold rooms. Ivan's processing plant can package venison in many forms, from fresh cuts and minced meat to premium sausages. Meanwhile, velvet antlers undergo strict quality control before being sealed in luxury packaging, ready to supply supermarkets, high-end restaurants, and pharmaceutical companies both domestically and abroad. From the mighty clashes of stags, to the sprawling farm landscapes, to the meticulous harvesting of velvet and closed-loop meat processing, all together paint a picture of agriculture that is both modern and deeply humane. Ivan's giant Sika deer farm is not just about output or profit. It represents a major step forward in modern animal husbandry, respecting nature, protecting animals, and responsibly harnessing their value. In recent years, with the development of technology and the increasing demand for clean, safe, and sustainable food, the traditional livestock industry has begun to enter a strong transformation. Among them, duck farming. Today's duck farming industry is being redefined by closed factories and automatic systems. So, what is really going on behind this duck farming revolution? What has technology changed? And which model is leading the trend? Let's explore in the next part. Ducks are one of the most important poultry species in Asia, especially for egg production. In countries such as China, Thailand, and Indonesia, duck eggs, especially salted duck eggs or century eggs, are not only an ingredient in traditional cuisine but also a valuable export item. However, for a long time, the duck farming industry has been neglected, lacking planning, mainly relying on folk experience and greatly influenced by natural conditions. And as the world's largest producer of duck eggs, China has invested heavily in high technology to modernize its duck farming industry. They have built closed duck farms with automatic operations. Temperature, humidity, and light in the barns are all strictly controlled through sensor systems and AI. Ducks are fed using a fully automated system, which significantly reduces manual labor and precisely controls the amount of feed to optimize health and egg-laying productivity. Many farms are now using artificial intelligence and big data to monitor the health and behavior of individual ducks. Each duck can be microchipped or monitored by an AI camera, which collects data on egg production, diet, activity levels, and abnormalities. The system automatically issues alerts when signs of illness or reduced productivity are detected, helping the farm owner take timely action. This real-time data-driven duck flock management model not only optimizes productivity but also reduces the risk of disease spreading, one of the biggest problems in modern farming. Not stopping there, the automatic egg processing line is also applied. Eggs will be identified through sensors, then gently brought to the sorting, cleaning, and packaging area. Each stage can process thousands of eggs per day, with an extremely low breakage rate, just under 1%. This helps reduce losses, increase productivity, and ensure consistent output quality, a huge step forward compared to the traditional manual egg collection method. Improving duck farming towards modernization and automation is not only economically beneficial, but also a big step forward in the journey towards global sustainability goals. Traditional farming causes many environmental consequences such as water pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and widespread use of antibiotics. From another perspective, while China is leading the way in closed-loop duck farming technology, Southeast Asian countries are moving towards developing large-scale free-range duck farming models, combining tradition and technology. Cooperatives support farmers in purchasing, sorting, and exporting duck eggs. As a result, productivity increases by 30 to 40%, egg quality is consistently controlled, and the environment is better protected. Unlike raising ducks in cages, harvesting eggs in the open field model requires a lot of skills. Farmers often herd ducks back to the cage in the evening. Ducks will lay eggs at night or early in the morning. To avoid egg loss, many farms use plastic nets or wooden floors to gather the ducks to lay eggs, then collect the eggs manually. Although not fully automated like in factories, this model is gradually modernizing, helping farmers save time, ensure quality, and increase productivity. It is worth mentioning that eggs from the field model are often favored by the market because of their rich yolks, aroma, and high nutritional content. This is a significant competitive advantage in the context of consumers increasingly interested in clean, naturally sourced foods. Revolutionizing duck farming does not mean abolishing traditional methods, but upgrading and adapting to the new era. Technology helps farmers reduce burdens, optimize costs, and expand markets. At the same time, it also helps consumers feel more secure with each egg they put in their daily meals. High in the remote Andes Mountains of South America, there exists a rare fiber often called the fiber of the gods. It comes from the vicuña, a sacred, endangered camelid whose fleece is the source of the most luxurious and expensive wool in the world. Harvesting this precious fiber is no simple task, and it has been the life's work of Don Pedro and his family for many years. What is his secret? How can one gather such a rare material while still protecting this revered animal of the Andes? Join us as we uncover the answer in today's video. Unlike domesticated sheep, vicuñas roam free in the wild, so their fleece cannot be harvested in the same way. Instead, communities perform the ancient chakra ritual, a collective roundup that allows their fiber to be taken without harming them. To corral these swift creatures requires deep knowledge, patience, and coordinated effort. One careless move during the herding process can injure both the animals and the farmers themselves. At over 4,000 meters above sea level, vicuñas roam vast open landscapes stretching across thousands of square kilometers. Unlike cattle or sheep, they are not raised in conventional farms. Instead, their natural environment itself is their farm, where they graze, breed, and grow freely. Although not confined, Don Pedro still manages the herds carefully. Most monitoring is done by direct observation. To keep them healthy, he avoids growth hormones and antibiotics, relying entirely on the balance of their natural habitat. This model follows the principle of non-interference. Rather than controlling their lives, the focus is on protection and sustainable management, ensuring both the preservation of the species and the exceptional quality of their fiber. Now let's follow Don Pedro as he harvests the vicuña's fleece. The process begins with the traditional Incan chakra ritual. Hundreds of villagers work together, forming a vast human chain to gently drive the vicuñas into temporary enclosures. Once inside, each animal is carefully restrained and quickly shorn using electric clippers. The process is designed to be as swift and stress-free as possible, ensuring no harm is done. After shearing, every vicuña is marked and immediately released back into the wild. The markings help communities track which animals have already been clipped, since each one can only be shorn once every 2 years. From the ritual to refinement, the vicuña's fleece undergoes a meticulous and complex production process before becoming luxury yarn. First, the raw fiber is hand-sorted according to color and fineness. The fleece from the back is the softest and most valuable. It is then gently cleaned to remove dust and impurities, a delicate process that must not damage the fragile fibers. The most crucial step is spinning. Fine strands are carefully drawn into ultra-thin yarn. Vicuña fibers average only 13 microns in diameter, among the softest in the world. This yarn is then woven into exquisite fabrics. For centuries, this fabric was reserved exclusively for ink and royalty. Today, it is used in luxury coats, scarves, and high-fashion garments. Creating just one sweater requires the fleece of 6 to 7 vicuñas, and such a garment can sell for anywhere from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. And yet, the local farmers who dedicate their lives to caring for and shearing these animals receive only a tiny fraction of this value, leaving many families still living in poverty despite their crucial role in the supply chain. From start to finish, the vicuña remains profoundly different from other domesticated animals. It retains its wild spirit and natural freedom. Thus, the story of vicuña fiber is not only about the rarest and most valuable wool on earth, but also a symphony between nature and humanity, where the efforts of farmers like Don Pedro lie not in building pens and barns, but in patience, resilience, and respect. What do you think about this remarkable animal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For decades, chickens and fish have been two of the most important livestock choices for farmers across Southeast Asia. Chickens can be raised in coops, free-range, or even in large-scale industrial systems. Fish, on the other hand, are farmed in ponds, lakes, cement tanks, even in rice fields. But what happens when smart farmers choose to raise both animals in a single, closed-loop system? It's not just a clever idea. It's a sustainable agricultural solution that can generate stable income reaching into the millions of dollars. So what are we waiting for? Join us as we explore how integrated chicken and fish farms are changing the game in modern farming. With their easy care, fast growth, and low initial investment, chickens are among the most commonly raised livestock in Southeast Asia. From free-range chickens and meat hybrids to commercial egg layers, each breed has its own advantages. Chickens are omnivores and can thrive on green vegetables, rice bran, and natural insects, making them ideal for semi-free-range farming, especially when paired with fish ponds. They not only provide eggs, a steady source of daily income, but also bring high profits when sold for meat after just 2 to 3 months of raising. In this integrated model, fish are not only raised for harvest, they also play a vital role in maintaining biological balance within the pond environment. While chickens grow on land, fish make use of the water surface, a space that is often underutilized or left empty in many rural households. Commonly chosen species for this system include tilapia, grass carp, common carp, and catfish. These are omnivorous fish that grow quickly, are easy to raise, resistant to disease, and especially well suited to pond water enriched with natural fertilizer from chicken waste. Chicken droppings that fall into the pond become a rich source of nutrients for algae, plankton, and various microorganisms. Fish feed on these organisms or directly consume the decomposed waste, reducing feed costs by up to 50–60% throughout their growth cycle. It's not difficult to build a chicken and fish integrated farm, as the cost is relatively low and suitable for small-scale farmers. Even with limited land, many farming households can still implement this model effectively by arranging things smartly and making full use of available space. A common layout involves constructing a fish pond measuring 600–2,000 square meters, about 1.2–1.5 meters deep, placed at the center or covering around 2/3 of the total area. Surrounding the pond are elevated, airy chicken coops with mesh flooring or drainage slots that allow chicken droppings to fall directly into the pond, naturally fertilizing the water for the fish. During the day, chickens are released to roam within fenced areas around the pond. This allows them to move freely while preventing them from wandering off or being attacked by wild animals. At night, they are brought back into the coop to rest and ensure safety. Depending on the scale, the model can raise 300–500 chickens together with 2,000–4,000 fish in the pond. After about 4 months of continuous operation, farmers can earn a monthly income of $1,200, $2,000, depending on management skills and actual conditions. Not only does the chicken and fish integrated model diversify income through meat, eggs, and fish, it also delivers significant indirect benefits, enhancing the overall economic efficiency for small-scale farmers. By taking advantage of the symbiotic relationship between species, this model helps reduce feed costs substantially. Chickens roam freely and can forage for natural food around the pond, while fish benefit from chicken manure as a nutrient source, cutting total feed expenses by 40–60%. At the same time, the chicken droppings enrich the water environment, boosting fish productivity through improved nutrient levels. The model also optimizes land use, producing both chickens and fish from the same space, maximizing output per square meter. According to one farm owner in Southeast Asia, the system allows for up to 4 chicken cycles and 2 fish harvests per year, generating an estimated annual income of $25,000 to $30,000, with an initial investment of just $2,000, $3,000. This stands as clear proof of how effective and sustainable this model can be for smallholder farmers. Moreover, as today's consumers increasingly prioritize clean, traceable food sources, this integrated approach helps build a trusted, eco-friendly agricultural brand. It also raises product value and makes it easier to connect with modern distribution channels like supermarkets and organic food stores. For a long time, the United States has been regarded as the beef empire of the world, where premium beef steaks have become a culinary icon. But behind those juicy, tender cuts of steak on the dining table lies a massive livestock system operating on a scale few can truly imagine. Each year, the U.S. beef industry raises and supplies more than 30 million beef cattle, accounting for nearly 20% of the world's total beef production. But what makes millions of people curious is this: how can one country raise and process such an enormous number of cattle? Let's dive into today's video to uncover the answer. Just imagine, inside a U.S. beef processing plant, the system can handle up to 400 cattle per hour. That means around 10,000 cattle processed in a single day. This overwhelming and shocking sight forces us to ask, how does the livestock industry manage to continuously raise, care for, and deliver more than 30 million cattle every year, sustaining such a massive supply chain? To find the answer, we need to trace their journey back to the beginning, the vast grasslands and sprawling ranches across America. When it comes to beef cattle farming in the U.S., people often picture vast ranches stretching endlessly toward the horizon. In reality, the U.S. has more than 600,000 cattle farms, ranging from small family operations to massive complexes. A prime example is King Ranch in Texas, one of the world's most famous ranches, covering over 3,300 square kilometers, nearly 1.5 times larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. Here, cattle are initially allowed to graze freely on green pastures, feeding naturally to build a strong and healthy foundation. In the U.S., the combined feedlot, grazing model is the most common approach. On ranches, cattle are fed strictly regulated diets, 60–70% corn, with the rest being hay, soybean meal, and mineral supplements. Their rations are calculated down to the gram to maximize growth efficiency. On average, a cow gains 1.5 kilograms per day, and after just 4–6 months, they can reach 600–700 kilograms, ready to enter America's massive beef supply chain. At the same time, to reduce stress and support natural physical development, cattle are still released onto wide pastures. Currently, the U.S. has more than 600,000 grazing ranches across states like Texas, Nebraska, Kansas, and Montana, where endless prairies stretch as far as the eye can see. Once they reach the right weight, cattle are moved into feedlots for finishing before the next stage. Many modern farms even use electronic chip technology, allowing real-time tracking of each cow's health, diet, and weight. This ensures consistent productivity and meat quality to meet both domestic and global demand. Alongside this, each cow is fully vaccinated, undergoes regular health checks, and receives veterinary care under strict protocols. Once cattle pass quality checks, they are transported in specialized trucks to slaughter and processing facilities. Each truck can carry 30-40 cattle, and in the U.S., tens of thousands of these trips happen every single day. The USDA requires strict regulations. Cattle must have access to water, rest stops during transit, and cannot be overcrowded, not only to maintain stable meat quality but also to reduce animal stress. At the plants, the slaughter and processing process is carried out under strict supervision. From stunning and slaughtering to sorting, cutting, and packaging, everything must comply with rigorous hygiene and food safety standards. Every day, a single large facility can process 5,000, 10,000 cattle, contributing to the U.S.'s staggering production of over 12 million tons of beef annually. Thanks to this enormous breeding and processing system, the U.S. has become one of the world's leading beef exporters, with an annual export value of over $10 billion. American beef products are available in more than 100 countries, from supermarkets and restaurants to high-end steakhouses. In a world where food safety is becoming an increasingly urgent concern, South Korea, a country known for its strict hygiene standards and advanced technology, is leading the way in building some of the cleanest and most modern food processing plants on the planet. Today, let's take a step inside one of South Korea's most advanced pork processing factories, where every step from slaughtering, butchering, and processing to packaging takes place in a spotless, closed-loop system, controlled down to the tiniest detail. And perhaps, you'll be amazed to discover that the delicious piece of grilled pork belly on your plate was made this way. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs of South Korea, each Korean consumes an average of 27-30 kilograms of pork per year, more than beef or chicken. Among pork products, pork belly, the nation's favorite barbecue cut, accounts for nearly 60% of total pork consumption in the country. In major cities like Seoul, Busan, and Daegu, nearly every street has at least one barbecue restaurant. For Koreans, eating grilled pork is more than a meal, it's a tradition. It happens during holidays, on dates, company gatherings, birthdays, or simply as a way to unwind after a long day at work. With such massive demand, Korea's pork farming and processing industry has seen heavy investment, ensuring products are not only safe and efficient but also exceptionally fresh from farm to table. As you can see, inside these factories, biosecurity starts right at the door, almost to a perfect degree. Before entering the production line, every employee must undergo thorough disinfection, changing into sterilized protective gear from head to toe, passing through high-pressure air showers to eliminate dust, disinfecting hands using UV light and medical-grade sanitizers. And it doesn't stop there. Air inside the facility is strictly controlled for temperature, humidity, and pressure to prevent bacteria, dust, and odors from spreading between zones. A standout feature of pork processing in South Korea is its strict adherence to humane slaughter practices, following standards set by the American Veterinary Medical Association. Instead of traditional direct slaughter, pigs are gently rendered unconscious using CO2 gas, causing them to lose awareness without pain or panic. From there, bloodletting and cleaning are carried out swiftly using specialized machinery. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, the entire slaughter process happens in an enclosed space, no splattered blood, no screams, and most importantly, the meat is kept hygienic from the very first second. After humane slaughter, the pork moves onto an automated conveyor system for processing. Industrial robot arms take over the initial butchering, separating carcasses into large sections such as half-cuts, shoulders, ribs, and hind legs. Every motion is driven by algorithms based on data like body weight and structure, ensuring perfect speed and accuracy every time. But what truly sets this factory apart isn't just the tech, it's the skilled hands of master butchers. Once the robots complete their rough cuts, human workers take over for fine butchering using traditional techniques, trimming fat, tendons, and skin with razor-sharp blades, slicing pork belly to reveal balanced, beautifully marbled strips, cutting shoulder meat to preserve every firm, intact fiber, categorizing rib cuts, jowl meat, ham, and more according to Korean culinary standards. Finally, the meat is immediately vacuum sealed and transferred into deep freeze storage before distribution. Just picture this, golden, sizzling pork belly on a grill, served with kimchi, fresh greens, garlic, Korean soybean paste, and a chilled glass of soju. That's the iconic samgyeopsal, loved by Koreans everywhere, anytime. Its overwhelming popularity has driven the pork processing industry forward, creating a lightning-fast, high-tech, and incredibly safe supply chain like never before. Delicious pork belly is not only due to the marinade, but also comes from a clear origin, a meticulous cutting process to keep the fat marbling beautiful, and is preserved in the most ideal conditions.